Hi, year 3. Hope you're good. I read you a mystery. in 8th grade. Hope you watched it. So now we're going to move on to a new book, a new chapter book. It is called A Boy Called Bat. It is a lovely story about a boy whose name is Bat. Kind of. Those are his initials, which we'll get into in the story. This story is in the genre of, I don't have the sticker on this one yet, it is in the genre of realistic fiction, which means that everything that happens in the story could actually happen in real life, but did not. Though a lot of times when authors write realistic fiction, they pull from their own lives or from their own experiences and then take that and put that into their story. So, Chapter 1, After School. Bixby Alexander Tam stared into the refrigerator trying to decide what to eat. He knew that the longer he took, the more energy he was wasting, and Bixby Alexander Tam did not like to waste energy. But he also didn't like to eat leftovers or cheese that had to be sliced or any of the yogurt flavors in the fridge. "Bat, close the refrigerator door," yelled his sister Janie from the kitchen table, where she sat cutting out pictures from a pile of old magazines. Janie, he was sure, had eaten all the lemon and vanilla yogurts, and she knew he only liked the creamy ones, not the fruit on the bottom kind. Actually, I can relate to that. I also do not like the fruit on the bottom kind. I don't even know if they have the fruit on the bottom kind here in Switzerland. Anyway, Bat was what almost everyone called Bixby Alexander Tam for a couple of reasons. First, because the initials of his name, B, A, and T, spelled bat. But there were maybe other reasons. Bat's sensitive hearing, for one. He didn't like loud sounds. But what was so unusual about that? And if Janie's old earmuffs happened to make an outstanding muffling device, was that funny that he liked to wear them? There was also the way he sometimes flapped his hands when he was nervous or excited, or thinking about something interesting. Some of the kids at school seemed to think that was hilarious. And of course bats have wings, which they flap. So between the initials and the earmuffs and the hand flapping, the nickname had stuck. And truthfully, Bat didn't mind. Animals were his very favorite thing. Better even than vanilla yogurt. "Janie, did you eat all the vanillas?" "Not all of them," Janie answered. She curved the scissors around the bent arm of the boy she was cutting out. "I saw you eat at least 2 or 3 of them." There's Bat looking in the fridge. The yucky yogurts. "Did you eat the last vanilla?" "Yes," said Janie. And with a final snip, she freed the shiny paper boy. It was delicious. Well, of course it was delicious. All the vanillas were delicious. "Well," said Bat, closing the refrigerator door a little harder than he needed to, "now there is nothing to eat." "I wouldn't say there's nothing to eat," teased Janie. She knew she wasn't supposed to tease him. "Well, I would," said Bat. "Nothing I want to eat." "Then you must not be very hungry." On Tuesdays and Thursdays, after Mom drove Bat home from school, she had to go back to work for a couple more hours. It was Janie's job to watch Bat. Thursdays were the hardest, and today was a Thursday. "Make me a snack," Bat demanded. "Make me a snack what?" "Make me a snack now." "No," said Janie. "Make me a snack, please." "I don't have to say please," said Bat. "Making me an after-school snack is part of your job. You don't have to say please to get someone to do their job." "You do, if you want them to do it well," said Janie, but she pushed back the magazines and stood up. Bat felt his elbows beginning to bend. He felt his hands getting ready to flap. "I'm hungry," he said again. His voice sounded higher. Okay, said Janie. "Don't fly away. I'll fix you peanut butter and jelly." "Without the crusts," Bat said. He felt better already. Chapter 2, Bat's Cave. After finishing his snack, Bat went to his room. Bat's room was his favorite place in the whole world. In his room, Bat felt completely comfortable. Here, he knew where everything was. If something was in the wrong place, it was his own fault, because no one messed with his room but him. In the rest of his small house, Bat's mom and sister knew to put anything that needed to go into Bat's room into one of the 3 baskets. His clean laundry basket, his book basket, and his miscellaneous stuff basket. Miscellaneous was a great word, and one of Bat's favorites. It meant all the extra stuff. So the miscellaneous stuff basket could have almost anything, except clean laundry and books, in it. When the baskets were full, Mom placed them in the hallway outside Bat's door. He took them into his room and unloaded them himself. Once, Mom had tried to reorganize his dresser drawers because she thought he could use some help. After, when he was so upset he couldn't even speak, she said, "I'm sorry, Bat, but your drawers were just a mess. Your hats mixed in with the pants and sweaters. I don't know how you find anything." But the drawers weren't a mess, not at all. If Mom had looked more closely, she would have seen that his knit caps were in with his long pants and his sweaters, because he always wore those things together on cold days. Shorts and t-shirts were in another drawer because he wore those things together on warm days. "But what about this drawer?" Mom had said, pulling open the bottom right drawer, which held a pair of pants, a wool sweater, and 2 t-shirts. "Well, those are things I never wear," Bat told her when he finally calmed down, "because they're itchy and uncomfortable." Then Mom cut the tags out of the t-shirts and Bat moved them to his warm days drawer. After that, Mom left him to his own devices, as she liked to say. Once in his room, Bat closed the door. There was a sign on the outside that said, "Please knock." Janie had written it for him because her writing was much neater than his. Janie could do all the hand things better than Bat. Write things, cut things out, smooth peanut butter on bread. The clock told Bat that Mom would be home in 46 minutes. Mom was a veterinarian, which was what Bat intended to be too one day. Mostly she treated cats and dogs, but sometimes she had unusual patients. Once she had taken a BB pellet out of the wing of a hawk. The pellet had broken one of the bones, and Mom had done surgery to mend it. She brought home the x-rays to show Bat. "Why would anyone shoot a hawk?" Bat had asked. "Do you think they were going to eat it?" "No," said Mom. "Sometimes people do dumb things." She'd been very angry about the hawk, angrier even than when Bat and Janie got into loud screaming fights. Seeing the x-ray of the hawk's broken wing made Bat angry too. But his room always made him feel better. It had a roll-down bamboo window shade and a fine closet full of shelves and a pull-out trundle in case someday a friend came to spend the night. It had a ceiling fan and a reading lamp and a rug with a picture of a train track printed on it. Bat felt like looking through his animal encyclopedia, which he often did after school, so he pulled it down from the bookshelf and dropped comfortably onto his beanbag. His stomach was full of sandwich, and Mr. Grayson hadn't assigned any homework. For this moment, at least, Bat felt perfectly content. There he is in his beanbag. Chapter 3. No Vanilla Yogurt. Mom was supposed to be home by 5 o'clock, but 5 o'clock came and Mom did not arrive. By 5:15, Bat wanted to call the police. "That's what we're supposed to do in case of emergency," he said to Janie. She was watching TV. "This isn't an emergency, Bat." "How do you know? It might be an emergency. You don't know for sure that it isn't an emergency." "Bat, call Mom's phone if you're so worried." Bat didn't want to call Mom's phone. What if she was driving? And she answered when he called, and then she crashed the car. "I don't want to cause an emergency," he said. "If you had any friends to play with," Janie said, "you could hang out with them on Tuesdays and Thursdays, instead of being a pain in my neck." Bat thought this was unfair and also mean, considering that he was so worried, but before he could say anything, he heard Mom's car turn into the driveway. A warm rush of relief flooded over him. He left Janie in front of the TV and ran outside. "Mom," he said, "you're late." "Easy, Bat," Mom said, climbing out of the car. "No need to be angry." Bat wasn't angry, not really. He was relieved. But instead of explaining this, Bat asked, "Did you go to the grocery store and get more vanilla yogurt?" "I didn't have time," Mom said. Well, that was the last straw. Mom was late and Bat was worried, and now no vanilla yogurt. Bat felt a ball of anger rising up in his chest, hot and hard and loud, wanting to escape through his mouth in a yell. His eyes were squinted together and his hands drew up tight against the sides of his body. Mom put her hand on his shoulder and knelt down so she could look right into Bat's eyes. But Bat didn't want to look at her eyes. He didn't want her eyes looking at him. "Calm down, Bat," Mom said in her soothing voice, the one she saved for when Bat was getting really upset. "It's okay. I had a good reason for not going to the grocery store. If you can calm yourself down, I can tell you what it is. Bat didn't care what Mom's reason was. She should have gone to the store. She knew how much he liked vanilla yogurt, and it was her job to buy it for him. There's Bat, quite upset. You can see. Bat didn't have any money or a car. If Mom didn't buy him yogurt, there would be no yogurt. But then Mom said it was because of an animal, a baby animal. Chapter 4. Is it a... What kind of animal? Asked Bat. You'll see, Mom answered. She walked around to the back of the station wagon and opened the door. Is it a puppy? Asked Bat. You'll see, Mom answered, taking out a cardboard box with air holes poked into the top. Is it a kitten? Bat asked as he followed her to the front door. You'll see, Mom answered. Is it a duckling? Bat asked as he bounced up and down, his hands flapping excitedly. You'll see, Mom answered. Open the door for me, okay? Bat pushed open the front door. Is it a hoglet? Mom laughed. Where would I get a baby hedgehog? I don't know, Bat said. Then he had an awful thought. Is it a baby human? Mom walked into the living room. Janie, still watching the TV, called out, Hey, you're late. I know, Mom said to Janie, and then she said to Bat, Bat, honey, I wouldn't put a baby human into a cardboard box. And anyway, would a baby human be so bad? Yes, said Bat firmly. Well, it's not a baby human, said Mom. Now Janie was interested. She got up to have a closer look. What's in the box? She asked. Mom brought home a baby animal, Bat yelled in a rush, trying to be the one to tell Janie, and that way she'd know that he had known about it first. Geez, Bat, don't scream in my face. 12 inches, remember? Bat was supposed to stay at least 12 inches away from Janie when he talked to her. She didn't like it when he got too close. There were lots of rules when it came to Janie. How did you do on that math test, Mom asked Janie. Did the chart we made help? Bat bounced up and down on the balls of his feet, pulling the collar of his shirt into his mouth and sucking on the fabric. They were going to talk about a math test? Now? Mom, he groaned. Okay, she said. We can talk about math later. Come on, let's go into the kitchen. There's someone I want you to meet. So, we're going to stop there. I'm going to upload the next few chapters in another video. They'll be in a playlist so you can watch them all in a row, but the playlist will always be linked in your planner. Sometimes, when we're reading this, I will link something into the description. This time I'm going to link a short interview with the author, Alana K. Arnold, that you can see. So you can see who she is and what she does and how she writes. So when I do link things in the description, I do hope you take a look at them, and it kind of adds to the story as we're reading it. I will see you soon. Bye.